There are no accidents with God. God is in absolute control of absolutely everything. So you look at Paul in the book of Acts, speaking to the Greeks, introducing the Greeks to God, to the unknown God. Remember that. Now, he says in verses 26, 27, he says, the God who made all the nations, he appointed their territories, their times in history, and their territories. Okay? So in other words, God gave people a time in a place. Time in a place. And what's the purpose? Verse 27. So that people would seek God and perhaps find him. And God's not, but then Paul zooms in and says, because God is not far away from any of us. So God is giving people, nations, time in a place. Zoom out. Now you zoom in, you see God moving people and giving them time in a place. What's the purpose? The purpose that people will seek God. And how's that going to happen? Well, like our evangelist Rico Tice likes to say, you are by far the most important person on your street because you know Jesus. The next door neighbor, they think they're moving into your street because they found a lovely home in a village and they want to hire it. In fact, they're moving in because you know Jesus and God is putting them right next door to you so they can reach out to God and find God through you. Because you will do to them what Paul did to the Greeks, introduce them to the unknown God, to Jesus Christ. Just 2 weeks ago, I started a church in my living room with my wife. We're planting a church. And little did we know, 2 weeks before that, a family from South Africa moved into our street. A Christian family, 3 kids. And little did they know, they were not just renting a nice house in a nice village. They were there because God is joining them to this church and we're going to seek God together. They think they're just going for a good deal, nice house in a nice location. What God is actually doing, he's moving people so people can seek him. So it matters profoundly. And they were there, the first service, they were there, and we were so encouraged to see them. And we just realized the sovereignty of God, his providence, his absolute control. So it matters where we live because we are there for a specific purpose. The purpose being people seeking out to God. And the crucial element here, God gives people a time in a place. There's a deadline. People will move out eventually from their houses. You are going to move out eventually from where you are, and new people will move in. So there's a deadline, there's a time that we are given to reach out to our neighbors and introduce them to Jesus.